Welcome, welcome, welcome to Resting Biz Face, the podcast where I talk about what it really takes to build a business without burning out, selling out, or pretending you've got it all figured out. I'm Michelle Allen, writer, mentor, creative strategist, personal trainer in training, and this is where I share honest reflections on what it means to grow a business, write books, lift weights, and stay creative, especially if you're doing it while neurodivergent, tired, or just completely over the whole usual advice. In this episode, I spoke to Youseop Lee, the founder of Pronounce Korean. Youseop is passionate about helping people connect with Korea. As a language parent, he creates a safe and natural space for learners to grow in Korean, not by memorizing, but by experiencing the language and culture in daily life. It was so inspiring to speak to Youseop about his work, how he manages to engage an audience of 1 million followers on Instagram alone, and how his marketing strategy is less about scarcity and more about kindness and heart. I'll be back next week with more on running a creative business that actually fits with your life, whether that's mindset shifts, behind the scenes strategy, or interviews with people doing things differently. Thanks for listening and enjoy this interview. I will have already done my little introduction to you when people listen to this podcast, but for people that don't know, could you tell me a little bit, like a little bit of an introduction about who you are and what it is that you do?
Yeah, okay, I'll briefly introduce myself. Hello, I'm Youseop. I love making things, and right now I create Korean language content and services. I want to be a language parent for those who want to learn Korean, helping to lower their barrier to the Korean language so people can feel closer to Korea. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. And I came
Mhm.
across your work on Instagram. For anyone who listens to the podcast or knows me, they know that I am absolutely in love with all things Korean at the moment. Definitely K-drama, definitely K-pop, but also like Korean culture, Korean food, Korean history. I'm autistic, as we know, so I've definitely become, like it's become my special interest, like Korea. So when I found you online on Instagram, it was so wonderful to see the way that you do these short two camera videos with little pieces of Korean language that are so easy to understand and they feel like approachable because Korean is quite tricky. Certainly.
Thank you.
So yeah, I wanted to like today we're going to talk about, I suppose, your approach to social media, marketing in general. I'm a big marketing geek as well, so I kind of wanted to talk about maybe creativity, marketing, audience, and like how you manage to have 1 million followers on Instagram, all of those things. So before I suppose let's just dig in. Um,
hmm
I wanted to talk about how you structure your lessons on Instagram, these short videos, and YouTube as well. They're clear, they're engaging, and they're really entertaining. So how do you plan and structure your marketing strategy? Is it like daily, weekly, or a monthly plan?
hmm to be honest, I don't really make a like structured plan for my contents right now. So I
Oh,
don't follow a detailed marketing strategy, and I'm currently not putting heavy effort into like promotion or into short form contents. Instead, I just focus on improving the quality of the product that I'm making right now. So that's
wow.
it. And I can say I plan monthly. So in the case of my content, I can just sit down and like just take a video of like 30 contents in a row. So I plan about 30 or 31 short form videos monthly and upload one every day. And for long form content, I'm trying to put some more long form content on YouTube nowadays, and I plan it on a weekly basis. Mhm. But
Okay.
not really well planned. I just like searching and got inspired from the other like contents or from my students, and I plan it and I just write a script, record it, and put it on the YouTube nowadays.
I love that. It's so, but it is
Hmm.
so engaging. I think it's because it's about daily life in some way. Like it's, yeah, it feels like everything you do is connected to daily life and like approachable.
Hmm.
Is that like your, and I'm going immediately off script of my questions, but is it like your theory of like, because you have a theory of learning language, don't you? Like, is that a sort of, uh, that you base everything in real life? Is that kind of part of your theory of learning language?
So I cannot say it's a theory, but I'm
Mm,
trying to make some really like easy and basic. So like for beginners, in the case of short-term videos, because like people will find my video while scrolling down.
mm,
So like if it is like too difficult, then the audience can be like really small. So I'm trying to make some really basic and daily basis, like about daily life contents. Mhm.
mm.
That's why I'm creating some like basic contents in the case of short form videos.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then the
Yeah.
long form is like a little bit more in depth.
Yeah, exactly. So in the case of long form videos, literally it's long. So,
Mm,
like I can say some more things. In the case of short form videos, I should like cook them and I should give something to them in a few seconds. But in the case of long form videos, I have enough time to convince them and say what I want to say. So that's one of the reasons why I'm putting some more effort on YouTube long form videos.
yeah.
Hmm.
Like I'm immediately transferring this to my business, going, oh
Yeah.
yes, I need to do short, really easy points to interest people on Instagram, short videos, snap, snap, snap to get people's attention. And then longer form, you can like maybe this podcast or a video, you can build a relationship.
Yeah, maybe you can do like that.
Yeah. So back to
Hmm.
the questions. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Immediately, I was
No,
like,
no need to say sorry.
I
Yeah.
was like, I'm gonna try and stay on track from now rather than me
No, no
delving.
need to stay on track.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Yeah.
So uh, I was going to talk to you about burnout because you're doing so many short videos and then doing the longer form now as well. And then you have, the work that you do with students. How do you avoid becoming burnt out? Is it because you're doing batches of content?
So in the case of my type of short form videos, like I don't need to put that much effort to it because um it's really like basic kind of videos, so like how to say something or like talk about Korean language. So the only thing I need to do is put some subtitles, and I have someone who helped to put some subtitles and image on that, thankfully.
Yeah.
And I I think like right now, like I'm like making short form videos, long form videos, and some more videos and class materials for my classes. But I think like it's manageable right now. So like I'm trying to maintain my work manageable so that I won't get burned out. And also I live with my parents, and I'm taking enough rest and eating dinner with them, going to cafes and having conversations together also help avoid burnout.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just it. And I think the most important thing is like, especially if you're working alone, then don't do too much things at once because, obviously you'll get burned out.
Yeah, yeah.
Nah.
We're all about resting on this podcast, especially if people are neurodivergent, autistic, ADHD. That idea of we tend to focus really, really hard. So for me, it's like I need to schedule rest and food every day. My alarm on my phone is remember to eat, remember to rest, because otherwise I'm like, especially because we I'm doing what I love, so it's hard to stop sometimes, which is a good problem to have, but you can still burn out even if you're doing something that you love, I think. Yeah. So
hmm
I want to talk about your audience because on Instagram, I mean, it blows my mind, but you have over 1 million followers on Instagram. So how how did that happen, and how long did it take, and what do you think has helped your audience to grow?
Um, so
Hmm.
like I just started to make Korean contents. I love making like things, and I came up with this idea. Okay, let's help them to like pronounce Korean at first. Like specific pronunciation.
Mhm.
So I just started to make a content, and I promised with myself, like, let's upload one short form video every day, like at least for 3 months. Like even though I don't have any like likes or followers,
Uh,
whatever.
yeah.
So I did that, and luckily, like I don't know, like I can just say I was lucky
Yeah.
enough, even though like I tried. So luckily, like in 3 months, there were like a lot of people who started to giving a lot of love to my contents, and it gives me the motivation, and I try to make better contents again. So in that feedback loop, I was like I'm uploading short form video every day, and in like 8 months, I became a 1 million followers.
Oh,
And yeah, at that time, there weren't many creators breaking down Korean pronunciation like syllable by syllable. I tried that somehow, and luckily, people found it really helpful. I guess that specific content style helped the page grow rapidly. And after the first year, there wasn't any growth in followers. These days, there are like so many similar types of content out there, and I've also been focusing more on long form videos or to my classes. I put really small effort to my short form videos. I think that's the reason nowadays. And anyway, I'm incredibly grateful for each person who follows me. I'm feeling so thankful. I constantly think about how to provide more value to them. So that's the thing, Pin. And yeah, I think the only thing I can say is I was lucky enough. And, people say like to get a lot, you should try. So yeah, like
yeah.
I'll try some more other things in the future also.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
hmm
so inspiring. And I think, yes, luck, but also the commitment to regular, sustainable action and doing that when nobody is watching can be so hard. And when you build in sustainability over time, I think then you can measure if it's working. And I think so many of my clients and so many of us do a little thing and then we stop.
Mm.
So I think it's good. I think it's really
Hmm.
inspiring. So I'm hoping that people who listen to this podcast or watch this podcast will be like, 3 months, I will try at least to be putting something out that is easy, manageable, doesn't burn me out, but I can sustain. And then at least
Hmm.
see what works and what doesn't work. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I find that really.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think consistency is really important. And I think that's the one of reason why people are saying like do what you like or do what you're interested in, because if you're not interested in, then like it's a little bit difficult to like do it consistently. And in the case of like a business owner, then like maybe they should decide something and they should put some certain effort, even though they cannot get a result,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. I agree. Yeah, I have so much more that I want to talk about that, but that will be for another time because I think
Okay.
that could be the whole
Hmm.
podcast. But I'm going to move on to ask you, how do you then balance? It's all about balance. I don't know, but how do you balance teaching with attracting new followers or engaging your audience? How do you balance your week, your day? How does that work?
So I can say right now there are like contents to attract new followers or audience, and their, let's say, product for the conversation. Product, like for example, like my classes or community or class materials, videos for my like class. So 80% of my energy goes into preparing like the product lessons and class materials. I spend less energy on social media right now. So at
Mm,
first there wasn't any like product, so I just put my 100% on social media or for the content. But,
mm,
in the end, I believe that the value I deliver has to be high in order to retain the people I attract. So, if my product doesn't have enough value, then even though I attract some new people, it doesn't make any sense, right? They'll not
mm,
retain. So that's why I'm currently spending most of my time developing the product itself. And maybe in the future, once the product meets the standards I'm aiming for, like maybe I can measure that with the what was it? Retention. I
mm.
think I'll shift my focus much more toward attracting new followers and keeping the audience engaged. Yeah, that's my situation, and that's what I'm going to do in the future.
I love your product as well. Like your lessons.
Thank you.
My
Hmm.
attention is always in 10 directions, but the lessons and the community that you build.
Thanks. I'll do my best.
Um,
Hmm.
so in terms of social media and visibility, is it then what is your favorite platform right now? So is it Instagram or is it YouTube, TikTok? How yeah, what is your favorite platform?
Yeah. So I was focusing on Instagram at first, and nowadays YouTube is my current favorite. Short form content is great, but it has limits, as I told you in the
Mm,
beginning of this podcast. You need to like hook people fast while they're scrolling and deliver something instantly. So, like long form videos in YouTube let me communicate more deeply and build a stronger connection relationship, and like I can convince them and they can get much more value if they want, if they are remaining in the content. So
mm.
that said, I still upload short form videos daily, but yeah, I love YouTube long form videos, and that's where I'm focusing on in the case of like social media.
Yeah, yeah. And
Hmm.
so that kind of answers my next question already, but I was going to ask you if you intentionally cross promote formats or experiment with new styles, but I suppose is long form is that new style that you're experimenting with.
Yeah, I can say that. And in the case of short form content, I create with Instagram in my mind.
Mm.
And I do cross post those videos to
Mm.
TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, but I don't tailor styles for each platform. I just have short form contents and I can upload them. So that's why I'll upload them on the other platforms. But currently, I don't do some like specific
Mm.
tailored things or experiments. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I can do it in the future.
Oh no, I think you're good.
hmm
I have clients that they try to be doing something different on each platform, and that's fine and it's good, but I feel like they just burn out so quickly because it's so overwhelming. I love that you break it into short form, long form, and then you put it on the platform that works. That's a really clever way to do it, I think, personally.
Yeah, if I should tailor them, then like it'll be really overwhelming in my situation. If
Yeah.
someone can do it, then it'll be great. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They
Yeah.
have a team or
hmm
they have, yeah, it's just, yeah,
hmm
I think the focus that you have makes a lot of sense because then it's
hmm
always on the customer, the audience. It's not about, yeah, you want to reach people on different platforms, but yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get distracted. So, I want to talk again really briefly about the 1 million followers. Hopefully that's not too obsessed, but what like personally, like we talked about the business side, but like personally for you, what is it actually like having an audience that size? Does it feel like encouraging or pressured? And do you like monitor DMs and feedback to get feedback for ideas? Yeah, how is it?
So first of all, like feeling thankful and I still doesn't feel real. And like we just look at the number one and M, but try to imagine all those 1 million people in one place, then that's a lot. So I'm just feeling thankful and um there isn't like some pressures.
Mm.
Yeah. So mostly encouraging. I get lots of comments saying like what people enjoyed or what helped them. That kind of feedback means a lot. Like those kind of words made my day almost every day. And of course, people also share what's difficult or confusing, and that's helpful for me too. Like it shapes the content I create. Like if I got a feedback, then oh, like people are feeling like this, they have this kind of difficulties. So I can put that feedback on my like contents and I have like followers and they give me feedback instantly, almost instantly because there are a lot of people. I think that's the big advantage when I'm creating something. So there's this kind of pros. Yeah, and I'm not feeling pressured. I'm just trying to give some more values and trying to help them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you just have I can't even imagine. Do you have just a lot of notifications, a lot of, is it just, it must be huge, like to have all of those notifications and all of those comments. Do you work through them? Do you, sorry, this is an odd question. I've realized. What is my question? It
No,
must be
yeah.
overwhelming, but you've answered, I suppose.
I mean, yeah, please ask me the question one more time.
Yeah, like how do you manage to keep track of all the comments without missing anyone? Like I know for you managed to we follow I think you follow me and you like my stuff. It seems to be like you're actually building relationships with lots of people. How do you even manage to do that?
So in the case of like liking someone's post, it's not it's impossible for all the people. Like
Yeah.
if Instagram like recommended me on the home feed, then like I'll just scroll like for a few times, and if I find some posts, then I'll put some likes and comments. Like maybe Instagram recommended
Yeah.
like your post a lot to me. That's why I could do that. But mostly I cannot do that for all the people. And in the case of comments or DM, I'm trying to like read them all, especially about comments. And also in the case of DM, like in the case of Instagram, they filtered for me, so I can kind of manage it. And I always tell them if you need to talk about something really seriously or if you need really help, then please email me because I'm trying to checking them, but there's a chance I cannot check them all. So that's how I communicate with people. And in the case of comments, I think comment is really important because we can know what people likes or dislikes. Um, like what is their difficulties, what do they want. So I try to keep track of all the comments. And in the case, I usually check some other videos about learning Korean or learning other languages, and I'm also checking their comments. And in the case of the other videos comment, and if there are a lot, then I just like copy them and put it in some AI tool and make them summarize.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's how I keep tracking of DM and comments.
It's so good because I can imagine it would be quite overwhelming, but I like, yeah, the idea of like directing people to email as well. So you're reducing kind of expectation almost in a good way. You're holding people and kind of directing them somewhere else. And that's really clever. Um, so since you've hit that 1 million milestone, do you notice any changes in your creativity or your confidence? I know you were saying that the creativity might be shifting more to long form, and like you say, it's kind of stayed at that 1 million for a little while. So how are you changing? And maybe we already spoke about this, but are you changing your sort of creativity, or do you notice your confidence changing in any way? That's a long question.
Not really, I don't think much changed after hitting that number. When I hit that number, I was like amazed, but like it's just a number. I
Mm.
still feeling thankful for them, but it's just a number, so it didn't affect my creativity or confidence. But like while making a lot of contents, I become more confident. I
Yeah.
think that's what helped. Mhm. And I can say I feel more like responsibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I could talk for a long time about why I think your posts are they're so engaging. And I think the idea of those short form videos having to capture attention, I think a lot of people have the temptation to catch people's attention by being negative and being like, don't, even with language, don't say this, or
Mm.
don't say big mistakes that everybody has when learning language. Whereas I think you lead with kindness and positivity, and I think that's a real big part of your creativity and why it's been so successful personally. Yeah, that's what I think.
Oh, thanks for saying that. And that's one of the thing I was concerning about a lot. So, as you know, like there are actually a lot of contents that saying don't do this, don't that, like top street things you should not do, this kind of things. So, um, in my perspective, when like someone is learning language, when they are trying to learn language, the confidence is really important. So if I'm keep saying, don't do this, don't do that, like scientists said, like people's brain cannot understand don't. Like, for example, don't think about elephant, then you
Yeah,
cannot stop thinking about elephant, right? So yeah, I was thinking about that kind of hooking and making contents like that, but yeah, it doesn't feel like comfortable to me.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't do like that. And I don't know, like, I don't know that's the reason why people are giving a lot of love to me or not, but yeah, that's just my doubt. It's not about right or wrong.
Yeah.
That's what I was concerning about, and I just wanted to share. Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I feel like if people do it, that's great. It works and
Mhm.
that's fine. And people love like quick, you know, don't do this, 3 tips for that, five. I use it in marketing as well in terms of like 5 tips to help something.
Yeah, same with me.
Yeah, but like to
Mhm.
switch it away from scarcity and pain points. So like, you're not doing this correctly. 5 ways that you're not, like building biceps or like using your marketing, 5 things not to do. To flip it into abundance and be like 5 ways to become the person you want to be, 5 ways to use marketing in a way that engages people. I think that flip is a little bit harder and a little bit more positive. And I personally feel like it's a great way to be because you're putting kindness into the world a little bit. Yeah.
Thank you.
What's next for pronounced Korean? I know you talked about long form, but uh, is there anything that you want the listeners to this podcast or anyone to know about what you're doing or where they should find out more about you or kind of, you know, because I know that I'm part of your community. So what are you doing that people should hear about?
Basically, I what I'm doing is I want to keep helping people who are interested in Korea and Korean culture, and I hope Korean language comes really easy and enjoyable so that like they can enjoy Korean culture like much more. And over the next year, I'm going to focus on like 3 main things. First, as I told you, long form YouTube videos that offer deeper value than short videos. And I'm renewing like the class videos and materials, so producing new Korean learning materials and video lessons that help people acquire the language naturally, like you acquire the language when you're a child.
Yeah.
And the third one is I was concerning about like speaking. So in the case of listening, I can like be their language parents by recording my video and they can listen to my videos. But in the case of speaking, like even though like they have some personal tutor or something,
Mhm.
the um speaking time is very limited.
Mm.
So I'm thinking about it and I try to develop an app where learners can practice speaking. Right now I can help people to listen a lot, so
Mm.
I'll also prepare some things to help them to speak. So I want to help with speaking also by application. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah.
So exciting. I would be so, yeah, that is definitely needed. I would be so up for that. Yeah.
Right.
Um, so any tips for anyone who might be struggling to connect creativity, business, community? Have you got any tips for any of the listeners?
So I have some book recommendation. This is not advertisement,
No, I love
by the way. Yeah. So do you know Seth Godin, this guy?
I think you told me.
Hmm.
I hadn't heard of him, but yeah, I think you told me about it in the past. So Tribes by Seth Golden.
Yeah, Tribes and This is Marketing by Seth Godin. So like start by asking like who do I want to help is the thing that he's saying. That's the key. One of the most helpful ideas I learned is from Seth Godin. So don't just ask like what can I make? and how can I sell? How can I make people open the wallet rather than this?
Mm,
Um, I'm not saying like don't be materialistic or something.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm not saying like that, but
yeah.
try to ask like who can I serve? How can I communicate with them? Like what kind of gift I can give to them. So if you if you're thinking about it and they'll become a little bit easier. And that's the thing Seth Godin is saying in his books. So I
Mm,
highly recommend the book Tribes or This is Marketing by Seth Godin. And yeah, like there is the word marketing, but um this term marketing in this book is a little bit different with what I learned. Mhm.
mm. Mm.
So you should definitely check it out. It'll be really helpful for your creativity, business, or community. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I'm definitely going to read those because I love that idea. Sounds like again, it comes from kindness, it comes from service, it comes from value because it's like an exchange. Yeah, there's money involved because we need to live in the world, but you know, there's that exchanging value for money rather than just take, take, take. Yeah,
hmm
I love that.
And also, like he said, in this world, there are like really few people who try to genuinely give something to someone, like a present.
Yeah.
Usually, when we give some present, we need something back, right? Like exchange, rather than like thinking like that. I know, like we tend to think like that, even with
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
but try to make some present, try to make some gift to the person who really need that gift.
Mm.
So for that, you need to know who is your audience, who are you going to serve for, and like what kind of gift you can give. So think about it really helped me a lot.
I love that. Yeah, I am I'm like really guilty of just going, and it's an exchange. But I'm like, and then there's money. But I love that idea of treating it like a gift. And I think, yeah, I think because when you're putting things out in social media or when you're beginning to build a relationship, if it comes from a place of it's fine, this is a gift, you're building trust. Look at me, already taking it to sales, but you're building trust, you're building real kindness into what you do. And I think that can't be bad. It has to, yeah. Where can people find you? Where can people support your work, listen, see what you're doing?
So
Where can they go?
yeah, type pronounce Korean. Please write pronounce Korean here
Yes.
on Instagram or YouTube. There is also pronounce Korean on TikTok or Facebook X, but I usually focus on Instagram or YouTube, so check it out. And if you have any questions about anything about Korean or whatever, and
Mm,
if you want to reach out, feel free to email me at youseop@speakbridges.com.
perfect. And
Yeah.
we'll put all of that in the comments. Yeah, I would love to put a graphic, but I'm like, I'm not even that skilled.
Please check the pin comment.
Yeah, it'll be in the
Mhm.
pinned comments because that's where we're at 5 years old. But okay, well,
Perfect.
Yusuf, thank you, Kamsahamnida. Thank
Thank you so much, Michelle.
it's been wonderful speaking to you, and yeah, I really appreciate all the the answers, the creativity, the kindness that you bring to your work. So thank you so much.
Yeah, all the best for your podcast, and please invite me to your podcast later also.
I will do. Thank
Yeah,
you. Bye bye.
thank you. Bye bye, Michelle.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want, and I always give it 100. Don't